In all thy ways acknowledge God, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3 and 6. This is one of the many verses that my grandma has lived by, and she's passed that on to me. Everybody has that important person in their life that, greatly impacted them. For me, that's my grandmother, my grandma Julia. She's a woman of many aspects. A great teacher, loving mother to my father and his siblings. And to me, she's a mentor slash guiding figure, a guiding light. A little bit more about her. She's the second oldest of 13 siblings. She grew up in Chicago, so she had to be a mother before she became a mother. In many ways, being a mother was one of her callings. I think she would agree. She went to school to become a teacher. She had a successful career as a teacher as well. After many years of service, she retired, and she devoted all of her energies to developing, her writing ability and just focusing on her faith. A little bit more about her accomplishments, though. I think successfully raising my father and his siblings is already a remarkable accomplishment. If you ever met my family, you know how they can be. But yeah, raising my father and his siblings is definitely one of her accomplishments. I wouldn't be here without my father, and he wouldn't be here without her. So, she's a pillar of the family, and we wouldn't be the same without her. And she has an outstanding moral compass. She's very faithful, and she's very devout to the faith, which had a great impact on me personally. My outlook and my disposition. I wouldn't be the same without her. Like I wouldn't have the same moral compass, of course. Without my grandmother, and mothers especially. They're always leading their children towards the church, especially in the Black community. So she's an accomplished teacher. Her being a teacher is one of the many reasons why my family is so successful. In their careers and in their just endeavors. My father, he wouldn't have seen so much success in his career as a executive director of Jobs Truth Racial Healing, and all the things he's accomplished. Being CEO and all that, like without my grandmother. So yeah, she's a very driven, very focused person. And she's also a fun fact. She's also been on Ellen DeGeneres, the talk show host. She won a car on there one time. So yes, all in all, who else would be? I couldn't think of a person more deserving, more suited for this. To be enrolled into the honorary Hall of Fame. If anybody deserves to be in the honorary Hall of Fame, it's her. My grandma Julia is she's more of a person than anybody else could be. She's her. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put it into words, but she's unapologetically her, but also being extremely compassionate at the same time. So she if anybody deserves to be in the honorary Hall of Fame, it's her. And I hope you guys see the same.